to another episode of Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
It's the prolific, so gifted, the Trinidaddy, the Panamanian Poppy, Rude Boy, Top Gunner, Sakpanyamada, Giovanni Anglin. What's going on, people?
Yo, it's Bash and Nissa, aka your favorite new YouTuber group,
That's
Recording
right.
live from Queens. Gio is in Brooklyn. What is going on?
Your favorite TikTokers, Addison Ray ain't got nothing on us, B. We do all the dances.
I
We
don't
do
want
all the
to
shucking and
go
jiving on Kimmel. No?
that far. Addison's like light years away from the game. I never watch a full video. I just know that she's number one.
I never knew about Addison Ray until she was on Fallon. I'm sorry, that was Fallon.
Really? No,
Yeah,
she's
I
huger
ain't know
than
about
that.
her.
Nah, it's fine.
Well,
It's not your target demographic. You are no longer the Z generation. That's for your nieces.
exactly. Well, it's like you said, I'm not the target demographic, and plus, I never wanted TikTok. You finally broke me down and forced me to get a damn TikTok, and you were really good at it because you were like, "This is for the brand, Gio. This is for the benefit of Black Seinfeld. This isn't for you. This is for the business." And that's why I freaking downloaded TikTok on my phone,
Yeah,
and now everyone is sending me TikToks.
it's the growth, it's the process, it's the only direction. Because in order to evolve, you also have to evolve with the system. And the system says TikTok is that's what's up. And that's
Mm,
what's up. It's like it's the reason why we haven't been so active on Facebook, but we do relatively well on Instagram. Right? Like Instagram is just it. That's the it.
that is true.
Of course
So
we could
we're
go to
not good
Facebook,
on
but
Facebook, but we're good on Facebook. You feel me?
yeah, like we were gonna start the Facebook process soon, but it's just like the target ads and stuff. That's something
That's true.
analytics.
But it's still a double entendre anyway, because at the end of the day, it's still Facebook.
No, but it kind of targets different demographics much better. Well, probably as good as Instagram, but it's like who's using Facebook? Like
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but
who's the
what I'm
target
saying is,
audience?
yeah, I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is no matter if you drink Sprite or Fanta, at the end of the day, you're still supporting Coca-Cola. You feel me?
Yeah, the Coke the Coke corporations. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
But
So
yo,
that
Gio, let them know where you can find us at.
you could find us on Black Seinfeld NY on all of our socials. That includes now TikTok, and finally we got the YouTube up and running. So shout out and hello to all the YouTube listeners and viewers watching this right now. So please hit that bell icon for notifications. Smash that like button. I hope I'm doing that right. Drop a comment because it's good for the algorithm and stuff. Because that's what YouTubers say.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the Black Seinfeld YouTube page is now running. It's going to
I'm
be.
so proud of it. I'm so proud of you.
It was a month in the making and it's funny. It's letting the people know. Just full disclosure
Behind the scenes things. This is
behind
exclusive for y'all.
exactly. So I've been trying to do this since the first week of March, and Gio could attest to this because I always let him know the small hiccups and problems that I had. As he said, Premiere is what the movie industry uses to edit their films.
And it's a big curve to understand and use and to master. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, not only did it take a while, it's like there's so many settings that if you just want the best quality, you have to be perfectly fine with wasting time because some things take 15 hours just to process.
Exactly. You begin to realize how crappy your computer is.
Yeah, it's not built like that. Maybe that's the terminology. It's not built for
It's not
it.
for it.
But over the summer I did upgrade my RAM. I had 16 gigabytes originally and jumped it all the way to 64 because apparently exporting a 2 hour file, pure HD 1080p, the highest quality, requires around 40 gigabytes. So
Yeah.
it's pain. I've been doing this for 3 weeks. Every week I always give Gio a deadline. So yo, I'm coming out. This is gonna come out Friday. When I set up everything, mishaps. Well, next week, Gio. Do the episode again. All right, Friday, bam, more mishaps. And there were mishaps on Friday too, but I was able to quickly solve all the issues, and I was able to get them out.
And see, on my end, I feel like whenever I ask you about it, I feel like I'm being pushy. Because I would always be like, hey Bash, Like it's the end of Friday, man. Is everything okay? We good? Did anything happen? And he would be like, yeah, we should be up by like Saturday. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, hey, take your time. I am not rushing you. I just want to make sure everything is good. I want to make sure your computer didn't explode.
Nah, man. About this, I barely used it the year I bought it. That's the funny part.
What year did you buy it anyway?
2019.
Okay.
Early
What year?
2019, I copped it. I kept it in the studio for me and my friends to use. We didn't even use it that much to make music.
Hell
Uh,
no, you don't make beats anymore.
yeah. Oh, but if you listen to the YouTube, we can't play music, obviously, as we could do on live radio. But every instrumental that you hear during the 15 seconds of the song that we played is a beat that I'll make. So I don't want to use those weird YouTube beats that one dude made.
What YouTube beats?
So in order to get around being demonetized, YouTube will give you a bunch of tunes in order to use.
Ooh,
So
generic stock footage, stock music.
yeah, stock music, completely legal. Like they paid for it, so you could use it, so you won't get in trouble. So apparently, there's like I forgot the gentleman's name, but it's like one person that produced like the ones that we use the most. I mean the YouTubers would
Mm.
use. And it's kind of hard to like hit up somebody and say, "Hey, make me beats for my video," especially if you're hitting like those million views within the first like 24 hours.
Holy crap, are we YouTubers?
No, yeah, that's the concept. As long time use, like first time, long time, like now we're officially trying to throw our hats in the game.
Oh crap.
Long time coming. You thought about it back in 2006.
Oh, definitely. Not 2006, because I didn't understand what the YouTube partnership and what a YouTuber could have been. Because back then in 2006, all it was just people just uploading stuff just for the love of uploading it. But now here in 2021, this thing is a business. Okay, people have verified checks. The picture, the audio, the image quality has gotten so crisp and clean, where if you watch this video right now and we don't have at least 1080p or great audio sound, and we're not entertaining, people aren't going to watch. People are only going to watch like the first 3 seconds of this and then just click off of it, you know. But
Yeah,
back in '06, everything was a lot simpler back then. All right, people were still recording in 240p and it was regular. All right, HD wasn't a thing yet.
yeah. So we got like old YouTubers like Smosh that used to be number one. The people like Mr. Beast and PewDiePie. It's like those guys. Like if they come out, well, no, what's his name? Logan. Every time
Oh, Logan.
Logan and like for example, Mr. Beast. Like they come out with a video, bam, 25 million. Like bam, 200 million
But see, we knew
views
Logan
for
Paul
one
from
and
Vine.
one YouTube. Yeah, I understand, but even so, YouTube with the way that it's structured, if you're
Mhm.
able to rack out like those views and those continuous people that subscribe and actually watch your videos every time you release it, it's a
Mhm.
win-win.
So if y'all want to help us out with our YouTube, please go to youtube.com and just search up Black Seinfeld and everything should be there, right, Bastion?
Yeah, it should be there. Pretty much you could Google it too. It's been a week. It's been more
Yeah,
than a month since I opened it, but now we have some videos up there. So if you just type in Black Seinfeld, yeah, it should pop up.
that's right. We have the full episode so you can watch everything that you are currently listening to now, but you get to see our gorgeous faces. You actually get to see what we look like. But also, if you don't want to watch us for the full 2 hours, we have different bits and pieces that we cut up for y'all to enjoy and watch. Some of the, I'd say the highlights of the show, some of our favorite things that we've talked about last episode with the Wu Tang verses and the Black Farmers. And what else did we talk about? Oh,
Stacy
the
Dash
donut,
and the donuts.
Dash and donuts.
Yeah, so everything curated by Gio. He's the one that kind of works on the timestamps. He sends this to me early mornings, and I just separate everything and clean it up. So I will try to be very, very professional, consistent.
Yep,
Try to update every Friday, and then throughout the weekends we'll upload the clips.
that is correct. And hey, if you would like to email us anything, if you have any concerns, please email us at blackseinfeldny@gmail.com. But also, if you'd like to listen back to older episodes, you can also go to our website. That's right, we still have that website, blackseinfeld.com. And now, this day going forward, all of the previous episodes, such as last week's episode, is also going to have our YouTube link in the each episode. So that way you could just watch the episode instead of our Spotify embedment or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Apparently, a lot more people actually listen to podcasts on YouTube compared to like using a
Yes.
podcast app. So, if you're doing work on your computer, just click a tab. You don't even got to watch this, but click that tab. It takes 10
Mhm.
seconds. Easier than getting your headphones out while you're working.
Bastion, question.
Yo,
Say if this thing blows up, or I guess I should say, when this thing blows up, how would you react to people coming up to you and asking, "Hey, are you Bastion from Black Seinfeld?" What would you do in that situation? Are you gonna have a Kanye moment? Are you gonna be Alec Baldwin? Or are you just gonna run like Lil Uzi Vert? What will you do in that situation?
yeah. Just say yeah, exactly. Yep, that's me. I probably like. I guess the funniest joke would be like flying low. Is just be like, yep, that's me. You take a photo? All right, move on. But I doubt it'll be like that. I'm pretty. It's like it's regular. Like we regular dudes. Unless you're trying to stylize, like I buy golden grills in the bottle, get my ears pierced, and wear like gold heavy chain. Yeah, then it'll be official. Then you're just shining. You want to be stopped and say, hey. But if you just like be regular, you see me in a hoodie and a hat all the time. So
That is true. Well, it's like I always said, I can't wait to sell out. Okay.
yeah, I
I'm
would like to buy that gold chain. I mean, like the gold grills too. Like,
Yeah, I want to get a grill, or because this is how we're going to start the show, there's a photo that I sent you of a bust down COVID chain where the dude he laminated his COVID card and he put it on some like black, I mean some plexiglass or whatever, and then he got some gold freaking Cuban rope blinged out as a chain. So he's wearing the freaking COVID vaccine card as a chain. And I thought that was like the illest drip ever.
he's getting ready for the passport, the
Yeah.
COVID passport, as we discussed last week. Like now, it's making rounds and conversations since the CDC recently came out and saying that from what they've seen so far, people that take the vaccination shot that gets COVID, they don't seem to uh, get the virus out of them when they're talking and when they're spitting in those micro droplets. So that's what they're saying so far. If you're like me that just want more information and more time just to wait it out before, yeah, just like wait it out. But that's kind of the most recent news about that, which is pretty interesting to hear.
And that was my biggest concern if I didn't get the
Not
vaccine
as
is,
airborne as before. Yeah.
yeah, that was my biggest concern if I didn't get the vaccine is because I knew and I figured that, you know, different companies would have these rules and regulations in play where if you don't get the vaccine, it might hinder you in doing things that you want to do or love to do. And if you don't want the vaccine, you're gonna have to come out with these with the testing or whatever. So I just didn't want to do that anymore. So I just figured, hey, I'm just gonna get it done. And by next week, hey, I'm gonna be fully vaccinated and I will tell you how I feel because I've been seeing this with my friends. Whenever they take the second vaccine, the second dosage, they always get sick and they always get high fever and stuff.
Yeah.
Only one person didn't get it, and that was Walter.
Gotcha. So you go from 80% after the first, 70 to 80% after the first shot. Then after you get the second shot, you're at like 100%.
Yeah. But even then, each state and each country has their own variant of the vaccine now. I mean, of the sorry, not the vaccine, of the damn virus. So I don't know. Does it even work anymore? Whatever.
Yeah, I think that was the reason people were a bit uh not confused about Johnson, but like they're wondering, it's like why is their percentage so low, or why did they take so long compared to everybody else? It's because they're doing
So low. Yeah.
yeah, but they were doing more study in different places like Brazil and other countries. But one
Yeah.
thing that's interesting is the poorer countries, like how fast will they get it, right? How
Mhm.
fast will they get the vaccine, and will they be able to organize and displayed it as fast as like America. We're in New York City. They have their system by April 6th. They should have all adults
In New
able to
York.
in New York. I'm talking about strictly New York. Will be able to get the vaccine shot. But
Yeah,
what about the other countries?
yeah, you're absolutely right. But I think the issue here in America is the fact that we always run on capitalism, right? So the companies such as Pfizer or Moderna, those vaccines are their property. It's their intellectual properties, right? And so what they think about and what they want to do is obviously make money from this, right? So the issue is they don't want to issue out their vaccine to different countries if they're not getting any sort of benefits or money from it. I think that's the issue. It's always a money thing.
Of course, like making the most money is the most important part. I think like people like in Europe, they're mostly using like AstraZeneca and the biotech Pfizer. And it's kind of funny because recently they were talking about the blood clots not too long ago, and then they had to come out over there and saying there's like no such things. Like we did the research, we looked at the reports, and we see like nothing connected to the blood clots.
Yeah.
So it's that's pretty much what's going to happen for the rest of 2021. It's constant updates and said, hey, with the new test, this is what we got. And if something happens, like we'll research it and make sure that it's either debunked or if there's a problem, then they'll probably go fix it. As you said, there are update software patches to the vaccine. Yeah, so we gotta keep an eye out on that as well.
As of March 30th, um, here in New York at least, people at the age of 30 and over are eligible now to receive the vaccine. So, Bastion, I know we're not 30, but it's something. I have a lot of older friends that are 30 and up, so I'm sure they're contemplating on taking the vaccine. And as you said initially, that only here in New York, Cuomo and de Blasio made it official that starting April 6th, New Yorkers, adults from 16 years up are all going to be eligible and available to take the COVID-19 vaccine. So that means April 6th, everyone is eligible. You can go out. That City MD is going to be packed outside. It was similar to what happened during Christmas time, during the holiday season, where everyone was trying to get their COVID testing, and I remember the blocks just being full, just full of people, so long that the line actually curved to the next block. Like that's how long it was. So I imagine the same thing is going to happen, but 10 times worse.
10 times worse. I feel like it might be the same percentage because now they're in control on who gets to come, right? Because you're like, hey, I'm gonna make an appointment. We're gonna make an appointment for 130 people today, so they'll be able to render the time. Because I'm pretty sure it's like you come in, everything's organized. You get your name, 15. You get the shot, and you have to wait 15 to 30 minutes before you get to go. You're not,
Yeah,
yeah,
they sit you down after you get the shot and you have to wait at least 15 minutes to make sure you don't
faint.
have a seizure or something.
Yeah. So fainting is one of them, but that's it. It's all about like the body, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, it's gonna be
Body
interesting.
adapts to it.
And you're around the area. There's a city MD next to you.
Yeah, there's a couple of COVID testing sites and there are a city MD on Atlantic Avenue. So I've been seeing people just stand outside waiting to get tested all around me. So this should be interesting. I'm going to be surrounded by people trying to get the COVID vaccination. And here's what's interesting about it too is a lot for the most part, you don't know which dosage you're going to get. So you can either get the Pfizer or the Moderna, but you won't get until you actually sit down and they tell you what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, I'm trying to get the Johnson and Johnson, and you come in, it's like, I only want Johnson Johnson. It's like, sir, it's randomized.
Yeah,
This week we got this, and it's like,
exactly. No, not even this week. This day we got this. It
oh,
varies day to day. So
Day to
one
day.
day could be Pfizer, the next day could be Moderna.
Interesting. One thing I learned about Johnson is like it could be shipped without it being freezed compared to the other
Oh, really?
ones. Yeah,
Huh?
makes you
Why
wonder.
is that?
No, it's just they're built different. I actually saw a YouTube video talking about like the history of Johnson and Johnson, especially in I think the Congo. Don't quote me on that, but it was a country in
What they doing in Africa?
yeah, it's a very complicated video and
Yeah, what
just
the hell are they doing up in Africa? They giving lotion to Africans?
no. It was more complex about like they have a lot more jungles, hence more different type of fever and disease. Of course, I'm oversimplifying it, but just to have a cleaner conversation, they already started testing vaccines
No.
on other diseases way before most of the other pharmaceutical companies started doing it. So they have different technology, hence they're ready anytime like something a new disease happens. They know how to test it and they know how to get a vaccine out of it like really really quickly. Of course, it's like much deeper until, as you said, why are they in Africa? It's like a whole terrible history. But
It is. White people in Africa is never good.
it's never good. It's never good.
Never good.
Yeah, it's. Anyways, that's pretty much what Johnson's built different.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough. So it's spring break, and Fashion, do you plan on going to Miami Beach, South Beach?
I am not a
Spring
child.
break. Spring break.
I'm not a.
Spring break.
See,
You don't have to be a child to go to spring break.
Gio, like, when's the last time you took a vacation?
F of vacay, I feel better at work. Bless.
See, like, you don't take vacations. You're not.
I don't vacations.
Yeah, I don't take vacations either. I'm not in a rush to leave my comfort zone. Of course, it'd be great. Like, fly off. I flew off to Aruba like 2 years ago. You remember that? And that was like a plastic beach. It's like, okay, I did it. I went to a plastic beach. I enjoyed my time. I don't want to do this again. It's plastic. Like it's like American food on a nice view.
See, my thing is as to why I'm not doing vacations because I'm busy hustling for us, for this show, for this quote unquote brand. I want to do this now so later on I can go and have vacation somewhere where I'm comfortable and I'm making a livable wage, at least six figures, at least like 100,000.
Livable wage. He says 6.
Hell yeah. Well, I plan on staying here in New York.
Oh word.
Like, if you want to have like a livable, comfortable life in New York, you have to make at least like 75,000.
Yeah, that. If comfortable, more than comfortable. You want to spend
Yeah.
on like unnecessary things whenever you want once in a while.
Exactly. If you want to do that stuff, at least 70, 75 grand at the minimum.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to make 100,000 at least because that's a cool number. I'm a six figure hitter, you know what I mean, and I can live comfortably. I can get a nice apartment, an okay-ish apartment, 2 grand a month, and also I'll have my own business, or we're gonna have our own business. Just hopefully, Bastion, because I've been listening to Joe Budden. Okay, hopefully, I don't want us to lose our friendship. Damn it! All right, I'm seeing what's happening to Joe Budden. All right.
Yeah, it's they joked about that many times too. It's like when we break up, da da da.
First the fat boys break up, and every day I wake up.
It's not to get into that situation, but it's
No, we're not.
No, I think we're just a smaller group. We're not like a corporation and a bunch of people.
Exactly.
But this is what happens when you go solo. So
South Miami Beach.
South Miami Beach, you're on vacation. You bring your friends, bring your homies. You saved up. You haven't been on vacation in a whole year. Your boy hits you up. It's like, yo, we're going down to Florida. Oh, we're going to Disney World? Like, no, we're going to Miami.
Going to Miami for the baddies, for the boo things.
And it was wild out there.
It was wild out there. So wild, in fact, that the mayor of Miami Beach, Dan Gelber, had to declare a state of emergency due to the high volume of people on South Beach, on Miami Beach. And he closed everything at 8 p.m. It was an 8 p.m. curfew, which in turn screwed over all the restaurant owners, screwed over all the club owners and the partiers. And that first initial week, which was last week, when the curfew happened, people didn't want to go home. So there was an angry mob essentially on South Beach.
Let them mob out.
Mhm.
It's all about the safety of the local residents, right? That's what it's all about.
But here's the issue, though, right? This is Florida, okay? And we all know how crazy Floridians are because Florida was one of the first states. I was going to say country again. It was one of the first states that still had everything open.
For a
Florida,
very long time.
Georgia, and now Texas being those early states that have everything open. And now that things are going back to semi-normal, as we just stated here in 2021, you bet your ass people are gonna go to South Beach, especially people from New York, okay? Because Miami is like a second home for New Yorkers, okay? That's the residential area for New Yorkers to go.
And if you can't afford Miami, you go to Atlanta, right?
Yeah, exactly. Miami and Atlanta. Those are the two spots where people from New York reside now. There's like a little New York in Atlanta now. It's crazy.
Embarrassing.
But you know what else is embarrassing? There's grown ass men, and I'm talking men in their late 30s, early 40s, going to South Beach during spring break. And to be honest, I find that creepy. I find that weird and creepy. And you should grow up. You shouldn't go there during spring break. That's for the people in their 20s, okay? I
Oh,
say
okay. I was about to say I don't get it. Like people go on vacation all the time, but you're right. Spring break. It's
spring break. No.
those
If
special
you are
2 weeks.
age of 30, stop going to spring break.
It's not
That
for
is
you
it's not for you anymore.
unless
Sorry, Playboy.
unless that's like the only Groupon deal that you could afford.
Nah, not even that. That's not for you.
It's not
All
for
right.
you.
Go during a different time. Go during the summer or something.
Do Easter.
Yeah, do Easter or something. No, you can't do Easter. You know why? Because that's where the Isley brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire are gonna do that versus battle. So after Easter, because Easter is a holy day. All right. After
Featuring
Easter, then you go.
featuring who? Who's hosting the whole thing? Steve Harvey. Steve
Steve
Harvey.
Harvey,
Steve Harvey and
because
his
he loves Earth,
mustache.
Wind, and Fire.
Yeah. That's hilarious. That's great. So you must be doing it for free.
Oh, nah, I don't think he's gonna do that for free. Steve Harvey?
I think so. I think something like this is like the small pro bono stuff that you could do because they don't need a host.
They never needed a host, but see,
Exactly. Like pro bono.
hmm
Like
see,
imagine the RZA hosting like the Raekwon and Ghost.
now you see why I said the tag team with Ray and Ghost and Redman and Method Man would have been cool because it could be done. It can be done.
That's too ambitious.
Steve Harvey's hosting the damn thing. We're gonna have the Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers. That's gonna be way more than 5 people.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying last week. That's all.
Gotcha. But yeah, spring break is crazy.
Right.
What's going on with the Tokyo Olympics?
Oh, great question, Bastion. That's why I had this on my list. So the Tokyo Olympics was postponed back in 2020 due to, of course, coronavirus. So thankfully now that the Tokyo Olympics 2021 is actually going to happen, but they made a ban on all foreigner spectators. So basically, if you're not a Tokyo resident, you are not allowed to watch any of or buy any tickets or go to any of the Olympic Games. It's only reserved for the Tokyo locals. But here's the issue that's going on right now. Refunds.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
So, well, I was reading an article that people that previously ordered tickets to the Tokyo Olympics, a lot of the people that did order these tickets, they ordered it through third party sites, right? So what they're doing is they're issuing refunds, but they're not issuing full refunds. For example, because those third companies need to still make a profit, right? And they've lost a crap ton of money so far because 2020 never happened. So, for example, Bash, say if I ordered a $1,500 ticket to go see the swimming, right? They're gonna issue me a $1,300 refund, and they're gonna keep the 200 for themselves.
That's not too bad.
It's not too
It could have
bad.
been worse. They could have like not
Worse.
given you a refund.
That too. But me being me, I figured I would want the whole 1,500, but I get it though. I totally get it. You still need to make some sort of money out of this.
I guess so. Money. Yeah, I guess so. Because I was thinking about the advertisers and the local businesses, but I think we did. Did we have Black Seinfeld during the World Cup in Brazil?
Did we?
And that was back in, I don't remember the years,
That
but
was 2018. So we definitely were doing Black Seinfeld, but I don't remember if we discussed the
okay.
World
Yeah. So like the biggest problem with the World Cup in Brazil was because they would use so much of the land. They'll build stadiums, and of course they knew that they weren't going to use it afterwards.
Yeah, of
And
course.
they will always say it's good for the businesses because they have more tourists to come and buy their food. But it's only for a short period of time, and it's not as profitable as people think it is.
It's really not. And one thing I never liked about um, the Olympics when each country had the opportunity to like build up their own stadium is the fact that they quote unquote clean out the area. So
Mm,
they get rid of the locals and stuff and some of the homeless and a lot of the homeless people that may be there to create this like big mecca, this big behemoth to make sure that the foreigners and the people who do go to the Olympics see whatever country that they're visiting as this big like paradise essentially when actual people live there and their lives were affected due to the building of these stadiums.
yeah, and it's a one-time thing too. So for them, to say like, hey, only the locals only, it's going to be pretty interesting, especially because a lot of people will try to like, swing their way over there to Japan just to
Right.
even see it.
Hmm.
But there's other things to see in Japan, so.
That is true. That is true. There are other things to see in
But
Japan.
I
But
think my prediction is they'll probably change it up a little bit.
what do you think they're going to change it up to?
No, they're just going to allow a limited number of spectators, but they'll have to be approved, and it's probably going to be like either close family.
Limited amount of foreign
Yeah,
spectators?
yeah.
Okay.
Even if they're not connected, I think they'll probably limit it. It all depends on pretty much how COVID is for the rest of 2021.
True. I would think some of the competitors' family could get the invite, right?
But it's not that I won't say it's not that important because you work really really hard for the Olympics. But it's
True.
like, yo, stay home. Let me
Mhm.
do my stuff.
I went to high school with this guy Bruce Carrington Jr. and he's a boxer. So I knew that he's training for the Olympics. I don't know if he made the team yet, but he's training
Oh,
for
okay.
the Olympics.
That's tight.
Brownsville native, you already know the vibes. Brownsville, home of Mike Tyson, home of fighters is what we do. Brownsville, never run, never will. Shout out to Brownsville.
Hey. So let's get into the first song of the week.
Yeah, bashing because I seen this track list and no offense, like it's good and all, but it's very dated.
No such thing as dated. All right, this is
Old people
music.
music bashing is old.
Yeah, I like to have themes, and this theme right here is a little bit like either funk groove or just old and classy. So the first one I want to talk about is Womack and Womack, the Womack family. And this is probably like I think this album came out when they had like 6 kids and stuff. But this is the song Candy World. Check it out.
Welcome back to Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing. Bashing, I liked the song. It had a very Daft Punky sort of vibe with the robotic sound. You feel me? I like that. I like that part.
Yeah, it's an old classic. I'm a big fan of the song. It's very childish too,
Mhm.
which that's kind of the funniest part about it because like they're just singing like family stuff. This is Womack and Womack. This is like I said, this is like probably when they had like all those kids, so they're
Mhm.
making like children music.
How did you discover this?
No, it's Womack. Come on, like a big,
Fair.
very important name in the music industry. And this is
Good
like
point.
one of the brothers. So
Okay,
yeah.
I actually like it. It's not something I'm gonna listen to every day, but I appreciate the record. I appreciate the song. I appreciate the lightheartedness. I appreciate the cartoon references, and I appreciate the sound. It's very chill.
Oh yeah. So you're gonna be surprised with the other songs I'm gonna play.
All right, cool. But I'll tell you one thing, Bastion. There is one person who's been surprising, or I'd say he is definitely pissing off the music world, Christians, Nike, and that king is Lil Nas X, my hero.
Longtime supporters.
Longtime supporters of Lil Nas X since he came out with that Old Town Road back in 2019, and I kept seeing that damn meme where that song keeps playing, and then everyone starts transforming into this cowboy getup. I've been a fan of Lil Nas X since, and he's had controversy after controversy. I mean, this one right here is a bit stronger than the other ones. I remember the first one being that his song isn't a country song, and that's why that song wasn't on the country charts. And then Billy Ray Cyrus came to issue a hand, and then he came out with like 5 remixes, one with Young Thug and BTS and the Walmart yodeling kid, and then he just kept dropping song after song after song. And Little Nas X, to me, he's no longer a one-hit wonder. He hasn't been a one-hit wonder in a while because he came out with Panini. All right, Lil Nas X is great. Okay, he got slaps. I like his style. I like the fact that he is himself 100%.
And that kind of leads us into his newest song.
Montero. My name is Montero.
And as you said, it hit a lot. It hit the fan. It hit the fan real quick. The video came out. I think I waited like maybe 2 or 3 days before. No, like 2 days before I watched it. I've
But
kind
hold
of
on, Bastion. Even then, that song, he kept teasing that song since last year. I don't know if you remember this, but he was in his car and he was playing that track.
that
And people were
I
like,
saw a
yo,
video. I completely forgot about it.
yeah. And I remember people were like, yo, you gotta drop this track. And he waited a year later, exactly a year later, to drop this track along with the music video.
Oh yeah, post. Yeah. And I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was something like he teased for a long time that he came out and he developed a very interesting music video.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I kind of waited a day or two before I watched it. I think I just didn't have time, or I just wasn't trying to listen to music.
I saw it at the premiere at 12 o'clock because,
Mhm.
YouTube, they do the premiere video streams or whatever. So I waited until I saw the stream, and I thought artistically the video was dope.
Yeah. It's funny because the first music video I was thinking about is one of the FKA music videos.
Twigs.
FKA Twigs
Mhm.
music video telephone, because they had kind of the same like design using the stripper pole.
It
And
is exactly identical.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. It's very similar.
it's
It's extreme. It's basically a mirror of the same
in
video.
certain parts, yes. And I was kind of not surprised when other people kind of discovered that too, because I'm a
And
huge
oh,
FK Twigs fan. And I
right.
thought her music videos are always very complicated.
Question: do you think, because Lil Nas explained in that post that he honestly didn't know about the similarities of the video, but do you believe that he didn't know, or do you believe that his company didn't know, or the people that he signed to didn't know, his team, his peoples?
No, I believe they knew. I believe they, as a creator, especially as someone that wants to create things, you
Mhm.
have to kind of copy stuff, right? If you want to make things that are good, you're originally going to copy it, but you're not going to sell it, because your copy is just your work in order so it could get better. So when you want to create your own things, you have an idea on the process. So for them to do that whole thing, apparently, this is what I'm guessing. They had an idea, but they didn't know how to develop it.
Mm-hmm.
So when they were looking at other ideas, they probably saw FKA's Twigs video and thought like, "Oh, this is a great idea. Let's create it." Of course, I'm assuming this is me just thinking as a content creator, as a just a all around
And now as a
artist,
YouTuber.
yeah, and now the YouTuber. That yeah, it's okay to steal, but you have to do it differently. And for them
Mhm.
to maybe they tried to do it differently, but they weren't able to get the artistic shot out.
Yeah.
That they just I don't know if it was on purpose, but they pretty much at certain points they're able to like cut scene to scene.
Yeah, it's basically, it was like a blatant rip off.
Because I do believe like the strip using the strip pole could be something that you want to do because I know Cardi B's doing it and
Mhm.
it just kind of rolls into what music is now. And of course I
Right.
think FK is like the ones that not popularized it, but definitely has the most eye and keen to use it the most.
That is true. And FKA uses the strip pole to me as an art. Like whenever she's on that pole, remember when we saw her, or I don't know if you were there with me.
That was.
Oh, you were? All right. So you remember when we were there at Afro Punk and she was on the pole and she just made it look so effortlessly and flawless. Like to me, it was just art instead of like a strip pole and at a strip club. Like it was an actual like dance and art almost,
Exactly.
you
And,
know?
and she always gives shout outs to all the like the strippers and the sex workers. So
Mm-hmm.
to kind of know that it's like it's important to know that this is their art form and I'm using it to kind of convey my own message with it.
Right.
So she's really good at expressing where she's getting her ideas from. And that's something that I think the producer Andrew Thompson Huang and Kelvin I don't know, Andrew Thompson Wang was the one that kind of produced and made the visuals for the masterpiece of the music video.
Mhm.
And those guys work hard. And it wasn't easy. It's like, oh, let's come up with a music video and put it together. It's like they probably scrapped a lot of ideas in order to get the idea out. So for her to kind of express and to reach out and for them to kind of talk about it and say, hey, like, come on. But they both wrote posts about it, so you guys could check it out online. And I thought it was like very good, clean, like respect the artist. If you take something, you get called out. The worst thing you could do is push it to the side. You
You'd
just
be
get
like, I don't know what she talking about.
yeah, yeah, and we've seen that
FKA Twigs.
exactly, and we've seen that before. Like artists would just blatantly just either ignore the situation or just wait until it just gets in the back scene and people
And
just forget.
failed to give that artist credit until people make a huge stink about it.
Yeah, so it was very interesting.
Yeah, but Lil Nas X is classy. He gave FKA Twigs props.
I'm
Uh,
assuming it's like the people and the team members like, oh yeah, we did like use their idea like a lot more than you think. Like you did what? Oh my god,
mhm.
I can imagine. Childish
So the
Gambino had
actual
that
video.
problem too.
Oh, what was the video
Uh,
with Gambino?
with This Is America.
Who did he rip off? Well, who inspired
I
that
forgot the
video?
artist, but it's like if you listen to the beat, it's very similar. Even the flow is like very similar.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so yeah, it's something to look into.
Okay. So let's actually get to the video. What happened in the video that has made Christians angry, that has made parents angry, that has made the music industry angry, that has made Nike angry? What happened in the
So
video,
we
Bastion?
got we got to split it into two bullet points, right?
Okay.
And if it was a PowerPoint, it would be called the promotion. All right.
Yes.
The first
Who is Lil Nas X is a master marketer. I was just telling this to Mike. Um, to me, this is just my take. Lil Nas X is the gay Takashi 69, and the fact that his marketing is such
mm,
genius,
mm,
he knows how to troll people.
uh,
Like he is a master trollsman. He is great at it, and he knows how to stir up controversy,
I
but
wouldn't
not
use
controversy
those.
in a not controversy in a Takashi way, but it's but controversy in his own Lil Nas X way, because Lil Nas X has been controversial ever since he stepped into the music industry.
I guess my analogy will be a little bit different. I think he's a very self-aware Generation Z that's able to captivate pretty much what's been going on for a
Mhm.
very long time and use it for his advantage. That's the way I look at it.
That is the better way to put it. But to
Yeah.
me, gay Takashi 69.
No, I wouldn't even go that far. Well, he is a mastermind troller, as like I said, Generation Z,
Absolutely.
probably on the internet for much like for most of his early life compared to
Hmm.
us. Like I think our troll era or our need to like communicate with people online pretty much started in like 2009 or something. Like once you're able to actually make a Facebook,
Mm,
you know,
okay.
because there's
Well,
nowhere to
what about
comment.
MySpace? Well, what about MySpace though?
Yeah, okay, MySpace is one, but
And AIM, back in AIM too. You got to give up for
all
AIM
right,
and AOL Messenger.
you're right.
We had it.
I
I
didn't
was
okay personally for me I did not care for those things even though
oh
I did
dude.
have I think MySpace was more of a very interesting front page for me to put like cool backgrounds and
Mm.
moving gifs, you
Well,
know.
let me tell you something, my friend. When I was 9 years old, I told this girl on chat that I was a 16-year-old man living in Florida. My name was Jacob, and I had an online girlfriend when I was 9 years old. And I'll never forget when she broke up with me. After that, I played "Come Clean" by Hillary Duff.
You're trolling. You're very trolling. But it's like that. I feel like the Gen Z generation is just a little bit more different because it's more
Yes,
like our
they troll with purpose.
our generation trolled one way,
Yes.
and then they knew the mistakes and they knew the what was funny, what was bad, and what aged badly and what aged well. And they
Hmm.
kind of recycled it, but they kind of take different things and kind of split it again and again. So it's kind of recycled over and over and over because trolling has been here in human civilization forever. Like most books is just
Exactly.
trolling. But now it's
Hmm.
just online, so it's bigger for everybody to see. So the music video within itself was him, trolling, or I could say the devil, right? Giving
Yes.
the being banished, or I guess he's like the story of Lucifer as someone that was with God, then banished to
Hmm.
hell. Then
Yeah, if you remember the story, Lucifer was an angel, uh, and yeah,
he was
he
God's
wanted,
favorite,
yeah, he was
and when
God's favorite.
God was banishing other angels, he was one of them, and he threw
Hmm.
him to earth. And he fell, and of course he fell straight to hell. Hence, why Lil Nas X was using a strip pole to kind of
Hmm.
fall straight to hell. It's like he was just telling the story, a story
Yeah.
that we've been told many times from our elders, something from the Book of Revelations, but not in the New Testament. But
But
that's essentially it.
but I also feel like he made that video because when he came out, he did receive a backlash. It wasn't a huge backlash like he is receiving now, but he did receive somewhat of a backlash from like Christians because of course the kids, they always are concerned about the kids because Lil Nas X his fan base initially with Old Town Road and Panini were
It
kids.
was
Okay.
everybody. People keep saying kids, like, yeah, kids know what hit singles are. Kids know what good music is. Because
That
like
is true, but
they
let's
listen.
not forget Lil Nas X was going around elementary schools singing the damn Old Town Road song, and you had those kids doing the freaking that
They
dance
were
or
singing the
whatever,
songs even without him. Like I really hate that
the
video because
Fortnite
people keep
dance.
bringing it. It's like, oh, you're singing this song for the kids, this song for the kids. Like, no, the song's never for the kids.
Man, F them kids.
It's,
Hey, I totally agree with you in that,
yeah,
but you can't deny the fact that a lot of his fans were children. You can't
yeah,
deny that.
yeah. That's what I mean. He's a Generation Z. He's able
Mm-hmm.
to reach the youth that most people can.
Right. So when he was having this controversy of coming out, I feel like, and of course, people are always going to talk about homosexuality and throwing homosexuals in the pit of fire because that's what it says in the Bible, whatever. I felt like this was Lil Nas X's way of um, making lemonade at the lemons that have been thrown at him the moment he came out.
Yeah, he actually did explain that pretty interestingly about how the church failed him when he couldn't, um, when he it's like he couldn't understand himself at a certain point in time, and when he
Hmm.
needed help, all he got was pretty much how the church felt about homosexuality, and that did not help him at all. Hence, the song's called Montero because he was talking about himself. The
That's
song's
right.
kind of for the younger Lil Nas X when he was growing up, dealing
Hmm.
with his sexuality.
And I feel like that is a thing with a lot of kids that grew up around the church or grew up with family that is heavily spiritual and involved with church, because I feel like when you grow up around that environment and you start thinking for yourself, you start developing your own thoughts of what God is, and you begin to ask questions, right? And sometimes the church doesn't give you, it doesn't give you support, nor does it give you the answers that you
Or
may want to
guidance.
hear,
Yeah.
or that guidance you feel like you need. And sometimes you ask questions that you just think the answer to completely sucks. Like, I remember one time I asked about dinosaurs, because dinosaurs are, by the way, dinosaurs are real, okay? I just want to say that dinosaurs are real.
This is a pro dinosaur podcast.
This is a pro dinosaur podcast. So yeah, when I asked questions about, like, okay, so the Bible says that, you know, Jesus, well, not Jesus, God created man and all that stuff, but like, what about the dinosaurs first? Because the dinosaurs were the first, were like the first to come before humans. So like, how do the dinosaurs play into to all of this? And someone gave me the explanation of, um time time is all relative. So like, what could be a day for God could be like millions of years on earth. And I was just like, that doesn't sound right to me.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. It's like, what about before the dinosaurs? What about the
Yeah,
microbes and the primordial soup? You know, just eating the space dust. That's all we
right.
are at the end of the day, space dust.
Hmm.
But the calendar, there's actually a concept. I forgot what it's called. Something calendar, where they're talking about how time works. Like yesterday wasn't too long ago in terms of like the age of Earth.
Oh, we're gonna talk about time and all that stuff when we get to Tenet. God damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, I forgot cosmic calendar. There you go. The
Yeah.
cosmic calendar. If you want to use that, Carl Sagan discussed that before. Like yesterday is pretty much like dinosaurs were around in terms of the
Mm,
cosmic calendar, because we're looking at like trillions and trillions of years
of
together.
years.
Anyways, back to bullet point number 2. So bullet point number 1, music video. Bullet point
Mhm.
number 2, sneaker. Now, about the sneaker collab is with Mischief and Lil Nas X, and it is the Nike AirMax 97,
Mhm.
and it is called the Satan shoes. Just a brief description: it does have red on the bottom, looks like a regular Nike Air Max that you've been seeing before. They
Mhm. It's a
made
red soul.
666 pairs, costing $1,018, which is in reference to Luke 10:18. And if you look it up, the verse is about like the fall of Satan. But
Mhm.
like, you know, it's funny, like backstory to backstory. It's like Satan is like a mistranslation to adversary.
Huh.
Yeah, so apparently in Greek is like satanic or something. So when people translate it, they think it's Satan due to the revelations, but it's actually like the real word for what was pronounced in Greek was adversary. So it's like,
Mm,
oh, they said Satan multiple times in the Bible. It's like, no, like if you read the book of Job, it wasn't talking about Satan, it's talking about adversary, right? Just like someone not really against God, but like maybe like
just an op.
not, huh?
An op, basically.
Yeah, someone that's yeah. It's very interesting. The Bible is very interesting, minus the everything else in history.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's adversary. But that aside, it was just people to know, like Mischief is known to do absurd things. There is a beautiful Business Insider article talking about like how the company works and how they're just into creating like most absurd and cynical and viral projects. And the
Mhm.
products could just spread over the internet. Like 2 years ago, they had the Jesus sneaker, and that was the last time it was like trending like pretty big, because people were very upset about that. Of course, you don't care because it's Jesus, so
Right.
people don't even know about it. But they have a lot of absurd stuff. The
Right.
CEO, Gabriel Wheely, is the founder. And when they asked him about the company, he said it was like, it's a brand of what? I don't know. Being a company that kills the magic. We're trying to do stuff that the world can't even define.
Mm.
So,
Like, put a
yeah,
drop of blood in their sneaker.
put a drop of blood in the sneaker. And
Do you think the human blood drop is real? Because I just thought, I don't think it's real. I think it's all just marketing.
it apparently it is illegal to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just don't come out and say, "Yeah, we put blood in this." There's no way that's real blood. I think to me that's just a marketing ploy.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too. It could have been a bad, I won't call it bad taste, but like maybe not reading the room, but it's like human civilization.
But to an
Even though
extreme.
it went to the satanic like scare in the 80s and
Mhm.
60s and
And
constantly
you have the
every
Church of Satan and all that stuff, the Book of Satan,
you know, but
Aleister Crowley, all
the,
that stuff.
every other decade they're just afraid of it.
Oh
So
yeah, of course.
anyways, music wise, we're back in the game.
Mhm.
Pop music has Satan in it all over again, the same way Lady Gaga had Alejandro not too
Right.
long ago. Can't
Mhm.
forget that,
And
and
of
people were
course,
afraid about that.
you can't forget about every single Rock Nation or Rockefeller video where they throw up the rock sign and they think, oh, it's the all-seeing eye,
Yeah, the Illuminati.
Illuminati,
It's like,
all
no,
through
it's
your
just good
body.
marketing. Thank
It
you.
is just great marketing, man. And Lil Nas X, being the king that he is, the troll master that he is, he said that if there's no conspiracy videos about me being in the Illuminati or me being this devil worshiper, then I've worked this hard for nothing. I've worked too hard for this in order to get a damn Illuminati conspiracy video going. And hey, I'm with him. All right.
I think that's top. I think if people cannot believe the amount of luck you have,
Mm-hmm.
they think that you sacrifice something for it, and not wanting to say like you work really hard
Yeah.
or you're just lucky and the time you just work out. It's like, no, you don't deserve it. You did
You
something.
sacrificed your family
Yeah, like
to get to where you are.
yeah, like come on. Like
If you
sometimes
killed your mom to.
like sometimes it's just nepotism, right? You
Mhm.
know, it's like sometimes nepotism just kind of helps me out, or sometimes just good luck.
Right. Oh, but hey, Bash, we didn't tell the people that are listening to this what exactly happened in the video. So basically,
No,
Lil
I
Nas.
did. I had to explain the whole concept. Like he was in
Oh
strip.
no, but the grinding on the devil part and snapping his neck, that's where people lost their ish.
I wasn't sure why people were mad about that. Like he was
Because
because it kept
Christian.
saying like you're making fun of God. It's like, but no, he's making fun of the devil though. Isn't that
No, people don't like, well,
people
Christians
didn't
at least.
watch the video?
No, people definitely saw the video, but people just saw what it is.
People saw
Like people.
stills of the video.
No, you know what it is, Bastion? I think there are two kinds of people. There are different kinds of people that can take in art, right? They take it at face value,
Hmm.
right? And then there's some who's able to read between the lines of what the video or the song actually means, right? So, for example, right, when I was a kid, okay, to me, 50 Cent's candy shop just meant, oh, 50 Cent really likes candy. But when you get older, you begin to read between the lines and you're like, 50 Cent nasty.
I have another example.
Go.
Not too long ago, Vince Staples, North North.
Mm,
Remember, there's a mother, a very
hmm.
Christian mother, listening to the song on the radio, and she
Yeah.
was just very upset about the lyrics for Vince Staples' North North. So, and that was the trending. Even if I recall, Atlanta in season 2, they made a joke about that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of viral moments, as you said. You said the perfect thing. People either take it face value or they look in between the lines. This
Exactly.
video had a lot of in between the lines. The
Definitely.
lyrics, a lot of in between. And if you just follow him for like a week, you could figure it out. But if you're not
Christians and
interested,
conservatives, however,
like for
definitely
all
looking
the
at it
Bible
face
reading
value.
that's in between, like right, like even like the Bible reading they're doing, they don't
Right.
understand what they're doing. It's like you know what I mean, like, I took a Western civilization class in college, quote unquote, and like the professor
We
went
did.
into like details about the interpretations. Like you can interpret one way, but someone's interpreting it a whole different way,
Mm-hmm.
and it all depends on your culture. So if you're you know the
But Bastion, my children listen to that Lil Nas X, okay? That Lil Nas X is nothing but a ninja, okay? Wide nose, breathing all the white man's air.
it's just ridiculous to me. It's over. I know we are in a reactionary culture, But
Very reactionary culture.
it
That's
this
all it
is
is now. We just react and then we'll forget about it in like a month or two.
but this is
But
common reactionaries. Like they
yeah.
constantly react to that particular subject matter.
Hmm.
The whole devil, then music, then it's like if it's secular, then it's a problem, you know. So what more could we talk about? This is just, and also Nike suing them.
Which they can't. Well, I know why they're doing it, because a lot of people were looking towards Nike and telling Nike that, oh, I can't believe you guys okay this. I can't believe you guys are issuing out these sneakers, and I'm never going to wear Nikes again, which is a lie because they are partnered with Jordan. I hope you do realize this. So you're not going to stop wearing Nikes. But anyways, um, I think this was Nike's way of just saying, "Hey, we're not a part of whatever Lil Nas X and that company are doing. So hey, we're suing just to let you know that we're not a part of this." But that that case isn't going to go through at all because one, that company bought the AirMax 97s. They bought pairs of it so they can so now as the buyers of that, now as the owners of it, you can do whatever you want to that shoe and you can flip it if you want. Case in point, Bastion, you have a BMW 01, right?
Mm-hmm.
You customize that interior of the BMW 01. If you want to go and sell that BMW 01 now, BMW can go, "Oh, you changed the interior, you gave it new parts, you put in a new engine. You can't do that because this is our car." You can't do that. They can't do that because you purchased that vehicle
Yeah,
and you can do whatever you want with it. It's the same
customization. That's
thing
what
with
you're
the
buying.
Satan shoes.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with the Satan shoes. Nike cannot do it. The only reason why Nike is doing this is because of the backlash that they are receiving, which they shouldn't because it's not even their company
it's
doing.
reactionary. You
It's
know,
all reactionary, but that's why I think it's not going to stick. What do you think?
it's not gonna stick. But like I said, it's so reactionary. It's kind of beautiful to see the generations looping to each other. Because one generation will have this like maybe 20 or 30 years ago, and they will have to deal with it as teenagers, hearing it from their elders and parents. And now they're doing the same exact thing to their kids, talking about our music back in the day was like this. Like, no, it's the same thing.
Elvis was a weirdo,
It
okay?
was the same thing. So, in terms of just like wrapping up, everything's nonsense. Great music video from Lil Nas X. It's gonna be a good
Shout
song.
out to Lil Nas X, man. He
Great
makes
song.
great music. He makes slaps, okay? I know last time I played Holiday during Christmas holidays, but like, yo, Lil Nas X or whatever team is behind Lil Nas X, I don't know if he writes his own stuff, but they're great at what they do for Lil Nas X. He is killing the game. He's going to be one of the biggest superstars of this decade. I can feel it, okay? And I'm waiting. I am so waiting for the Lil Nas X debut album. I can't wait because that 7-track thing that he released back in like 2019,
19.
that was just an EP. So I can't wait for the debut album of Lil Nas X. It has to come out this year, right? Like, please.
Yeah.
It
And
should be.
it just sold out within 5 seconds. It came out like March 29th. So yeah.
Mhm. Shout out to you, Lil Nas X. We're a fan of you. We stand by you. And please come on Black Seinfeld because that would be awesome.
Gotcha. Let's get into the next song. We're gonna play a little bit of this one since it's a little bit long and we want to hop into the next topic.
Oh no, let them. I want to hear the full track if you don't mind.
But in order to parallel the Satan, I wanted to have a nice song called Heavenly Dream
By
by,
the KGs.
by the KGs. Check it out.
We'll be right back. Once again, you're tuned into Black Seinfeld here at 99.5 FM, WBAI in New York. God damn, the KG's Heavenly Dream. Welcome back to Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing. And once again, we thank you to all the YouTube viewers. Once again, go to youtube.com, search up Black Seinfeld, and that way you can watch all of our videos, 2 hour full episode of the podcast, as well as different clips and highlights of the show. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment and smash that like button and leave the bell on for that notification. Bastion, did I do that correctly?
Beautiful.
Thank you. So Tuesday, I finally did it, man. After a year from going to the movie theaters, I decided, hey, this would be a great time to go back to the theaters because I'm half vaccinated and movie theaters are now open for everyone in the city. Well, AMC at least, and private theaters. I think oh shoot, Regal's open now.
Mm-hmm.
Regal just opened with the release of Kong and versus Godzilla. So the last time I've been to the movies was the beginning of March 2020. And I think the last movie I remember seeing was Sonic the Hedgehog.
You saw that movie in theaters?
I saw that movie
I
in
remember
theaters.
that. I will clown
Yeah,
you for it.
You would have? It was
Yeah.
actually a good movie. Like, it wasn't bad at all. It was better than what I expected because I came in with the worst sort of expectations due to the mishandling of Sonic earlier on. Remember the first design of Sonic? He looked too realistic. It was weird. Like Sonic looked nothing like Sonic at all. But the real reason why I wanted to see this movie was Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman was going to be entertaining for me, at least, because I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan. But anyways, the first time back to the theaters, and I gotta tell you, man, the theaters were empty because, again, no one wants to go out. 42nd Street was empty. Like, I'd say 90% of the stores that were originally there are gone. There's only a handful of stores that have survived West 42nd Street. And the reason why I went to West 42nd Street, because the movie that we're going to talk about was the only theater that actually had this movie in IMAX, which is what I wanted to see this. And Bastion, you swore to me that we were going to see this together, but we end up not seeing this together. And Tenet came out September 2020, I want to say, right? It came out around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I wanted to see this was, one, because it's a Christopher Nolan film, and two, it's starring John David Washington. So Bastion, from what you remember of the movie, what are your initial thoughts?
I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. It did have its flaws, and I did have my things that I thought I didn't understand.
Okay.
But overall, I actually liked it. I liked the pacing of it. I liked the concept because it was a bit different than I expected, and it was very new. I could imagine this as an anime more, really, as like a comic book, if anything. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I did watch it twice because I said it was very hard to understand in certain scenes, and yeah, I liked it. That's what I could say. What's your thoughts?
Okay. So Christopher Nolan has his faults, right? And some of his major faults is the fact that he likes to over explain things in movies, right? Christopher Nolan loves telling you things instead of showing you what's going on, right? And I think within the first hour and a half of the movie, because this movie is like 2.5 hours long, it's a lot of telling you, right? A lot of it is telling you about the inversion and what it is, right? And I think that's the issue that Christopher Nolan has sometimes, is that he tries to overly explain stuff to you, but once I broke down the movie, it's very simple, right? To me, no, what Tenet is, it's just an espionage movie. It's a spy movie. It sticks to the espionage spy scripture, but it's just so Nolan to death and so long, and it meanders for so damn long, and it's heavily dialogue that you get tired of it within the first hour and a half of the movie, which is exactly what happened to me. First things first, he just dropped you straight into the movie. Like no warning, no nothing. You're just straight into the movie of the protagonist played by John David Washington, which by the way, he doesn't even have a name. He's a blank character. He just goes into this freaking Russian opera or whatever, and he starts shooting and killing. First off, who the hell is this guy? Why should I care? And that's what I felt about a lot of these characters. Who are you and why should I care? Right. Um, Also, the major thing about this movie is the inversion, right? Which is basically it's basically time traveling, but Christopher Nolan is trying to explain it as it's not time traveling. It just is. It just is what it is, which is complete BS because what it is time traveling, where they go through this inversion, which is like this other dimension where everything that they're experiencing is in reverse, right? That's the easiest way to explain it. There's this main villain who is able to who's essentially like this godlike character who can manipulate time so he can go so he can time travel with that whole inversion reverse theory, but also he can switch back and go to the present day. So it's basically time manipulation, right? That's all it is. It's just
From the
time
future.
traveling. Yeah, it's just time traveling espionage film. And once I broke it down to that, um it was just a math film to me at least, because like I said, the first hour and a half of the movie, it was just boring and it was dull and it was just over explaining, and they tried so hard to like explain everything to you, but you get lost pretty easily. And I don't know about you, Bastion, but I think the sound quality was horribly mixed. Like there were certain things in the dialogue that I couldn't make out, like legitimately, due to like the ambient sounds and like the atmospheric sounds and all of the background noise. I don't know what it was, but I don't know if you remember anything like that, but I really couldn't hear some of the dialogue.
So my setup at home is like I have my 5K monitor
Mhm.
and I have my studio speakers. So of
Yeah.
course I was playing it loudly. And I agree 100% of what you said. It's very, very difficult to understand. So I watched
Great.
the whole
So it
movie with
wasn't me.
subtitles.
Oh, see, I didn't have that luxury. See,
Yes.
I'm thinking I had something clogged in my ears because once again, I'm on IMAX, okay? The sound is like it's top quality sound and it's a huge ass picture. So I'm thinking like, I don't know, maybe it's my ears or something, but in looking at reviews and stuff and how other people were experiencing the film, they had the same exact issue with this film. They couldn't hear a lot of the dialogue.
Yeah. The producer that was making most of the music in the movie, Ludwig, the same
Mhm.
one that made a lot of the music in Black Panther.
Yeah.
And he's great. And also Star Wars,
Mhm.
Mandalorian. He's just awesome. So when I heard he was going to do the soundtrack, I was like, all right, this is gonna be fire. So yeah, they put his music on 12, and they put all the talking and dialogue on maybe like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So certain scenes where, as you said, they do explain a lot of things,
Mhm.
and it's kind of up to you to put the pieces together. It's
Right.
more, and I will kind of say this is more like a comic book where you kind of quickly skim it and not take your time to read it. Like you're just looking at the pictures and you're kind of piecing together. It's like, okay, next page, next page. Who's the man? Oh, the man's just the husband. It's the wife. Though
Right.
she's the one that you gotta talk to. Okay, keep going, keep going. Oh, they jump out the building. Keep going, keep going. That's kind of the way I looked at the movie.
Right.
So I didn't see. Yeah, it's just an espionage movie. It's just them trying
It
to
is.
get something in the most difficult way done. It's not an easy like, oh, let's just make like a James Bond movie.
No, I think it is a
Okay,
James
fine, fine,
Bond
fine.
movie,
No, no, no,
but
no. Wait, wait, wait.
but the Christopher Nolan version of a James Bond
There,
movie.
there it is. Because it's you don't want to do things because it's easy. You want to do things because it's hard, and that's what
Right.
makes Christopher Nolan Christopher Nolan. Like, of
Exactly.
course, what's a decent Nolan film?
Inception is pretty tight.
Inception is great, but only due to the test of time. Because I could remember people hated it when it came out, and
Oh,
people made
really?
jokes. Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, well, yeah,
People
because they didn't understand what Inception is.
most people don't. But now if you watch the movie, because we've seen it so many times, or we play it in our head, or we had so many discussions about it, we now
Mhm.
have a better understanding about it. And
That's
that's
fair.
what this movie was supposed to be. It was supposed to be one of those movies we watch either once or twice, or we watched that once and remember it so well that when we're discussing with other people, we're just constantly talking about it. And within a couple years, you're gonna talk about like, yeah, Tenet's cool. Like you dislike it now because you're in the age where you saw it in the movie theater literally by yourself. And there
That is
was no one there at work or no one there in the streets and no one there at the bar where you're like, yo, I just saw Tenet. I didn't get it. And then it's like, yeah, I didn't get it either. And then you're just frustrated talking about it.
No, but here's the thing. I got it at the second half of the movie when you actually got to see them time travel,
Do it
right?
again because the first
Right.
time they did it, you're like, what's going on? Like,
Mhm.
okay, what you said is me in reverse. Like the first half I thought was boring. The second half, when he did pretty much the first half again, that's when I
That
was
was the
awake.
pitch. Yes,
That was
yes.
when I was awake.
The final half hour of the movie, the final hour of the movie.
When I understood it.
But see, the crazy thing is, though, right?
Yeah.
I low key, okay, spoiler alert. Did you predict the initial fight scene that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where John David Washington was fighting the dude that was in the mask. Did you automatically assume that he was fighting himself?
No, not at all.
I did. I because I guess, going to school for like film and stuff, I automatically assumed
I knew that
he
it
had
could.
to have been fighting himself because
Mhm.
they were talking about time travel so much where I'm like, this dude has to be fighting himself or something like that. And so once he went back in time or whatever and did all that stuff, I was like, I was right. He was fighting himself.
Yeah. I kind of took that into consideration
Mhm.
when I'm trying to remember the characters' names. Robert
Robert Pattinson?
Patterson's
Yeah,
character.
which
Um,
is his best friend, basically.
yeah, not yet.
Not yet, but he is.
Yeah. Robert Patterson's character was like stopped him, and then he took off the mask, and he kind of let him go. And I kind of had an idea because in most situations in time travel, the one that understands it the most will not affect it, and he
Right.
understood it a lot more
Exactly.
than the protagonist at the moment.
Mhm.
That's why he was so cool with him. It's like, yo, it's like you're gonna be like we're gonna have many memories
Mhm.
later on, like once the protagonist found out the character Neil, played by Robert Patterson, was all in it. Like
Yeah.
he knew everything already. So that's kind of I know you probably don't like it, but I think once
It's
they
not that I don't like it. I just didn't like the first hour and a half of the movie. But when it got to like the visuals and the actual time traveling and all that stuff, like I said, the final hour and a half of the movie,
Mhm.
like that's where that movie shined. Here's something that I will never take away from Nolan. The visuals are always on point, whether it
Yeah,
be Dark Knight or Inception or hell,
Dunkirk.
even Dunkirk, Interstellar. The visuals are always fire. The effects are always dope. And that's what I really loved about this film. I wouldn't mind watching a behind the scenes
There's the whole
making of
reversing
the
things
movie. Yeah,
look
because I
wild.
want to see how they actually did the reversing stuff, how they actually did the time travel reversing thing. Because I thought the way that was put together was fire. The whole building scene where they try to destroy that building at the end, fire too.
Oh
Where they
yeah,
had
with the
team
plane.
A, team B, one's in reverse, one is actually presently there, and
You understood that?
yeah.
It was annoying. That scene was annoying. All right, that last scene, like the
Yeah.
last 25 minutes, was like the longest 25 minutes ever.
I thought it was dope. I thought that part.
I
I
think it
thought that
was.
whole ending was dope.
It could probably be the movie theater making it multiple like more interesting than me at home watching that scene.
Well, yeah, man. I mean,
It's a
big
bigger
ass
screen.
IMAX screen,
Yeah.
which is why I wanted to make sure I wanted to see that film particularly in theaters in IMAX because once you're dealing with Nolan, like the visuals are always going to be top notch when you see it in that environment, which is why I wanted to see it in the theaters, and that's why I appreciate the visuals of that movie and that scene within itself. But to
Interesting.
me, like, all that stuff doesn't make up a good movie to me. It's like, to me at least, I give it like a 6 out of 10,
Interesting.
slightly above average.
I
And
still
I'm dinging it on the head because of, yeah, that first hour and a half of the film. Like, it just took a lot to get into.
I still think it would have worked better as like a comic book because then you know and you're allowed to just read a lot of the words and the explanations. Then when
I
you get
agree.
into the cutscene, it's like all quiet and just like a lot of noise. So you could just read it in the color.
Hmm.
That's why I look at it. I completely understand what you mean. They did explain it multiple times, and you, the viewer, still didn't understand it because the
Right.
protagonist didn't understand it until the
Exactly.
protagonist did it. Then the protagonist was able to do it because the way I look at it is they're explaining everything to the protagonist is because they're explaining everything to you, the viewer. So you and the
True.
protagonist
Fair.
are learning everything at the same exact time, and they
Hmm.
don't want you to assume anything without the protagonist there for you.
Hmm. But see, here's what irked me about those explanations, right?
Hmm.
Because the first explanation, I was like, "Oh, this is time travel," and then they're like, "No, this isn't time travel."
It's
But then,
yeah, it's not time travel though. It's like there's a
but it is
reality in
time travel.
reverse. No, there's a reality in reverse, and it's moving the same way that we're moving, but it's moving the opposite direction. Hence, the
They're going
cells.
back in time, though.
No, it's not. It's not going back in time per se, because you can't really be within that moment. What you're trying to do is you're kind of reliving the reverse of that time that already happened.
But how do you get there, though?
That's kind of the whole thing. It's like you go through the machine, you go to the other
Right?
side, and you're just reversing within that moment. It's not like you could go back in time, then get out, and now you're in the past again. It's like you still have to go back to the present tense.
But you're altering the future, or you're altering what was or what would have been, because that dude wouldn't have been. But because that dude who killed himself, basically, who was this godlike dude,
But he was
they
already
went,
dead.
he was already dead, but they went back to reverse him even dying to kill off the Earth thing.
No, but he was dead already. Because if you remember, when the woman was with the child, and
Yeah, the
she,
white girl.
the yeah, that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, the white girl.
So when she said something very interesting, it was like when she was coming back with her child and she saw the woman jump off the boat, and she said like she wanted that sense of freedom, not
Hmm.
knowing that she is the
Was her.
woman that jumped off the boat because there was this
Right.
sense of freedom because she said like when she got on the boat, he already disappeared, like he wasn't there because it already happened. That's the thing about time. It's like if depending on which theory you believe in, it already happened. Even if you travel back in time, the events are already stuck into place. You caused it. That's why it's already in place. Is it time travel? Who cares? It was a movie, inversion. That's all I could say.
6 out of 10. What do you rate it?
I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a decent film, and it will probably be better in the movie theater experience. And it's like I said, it'll be probably better as a comic book.
Word. And I'd probably enjoy it more if I could ask for subtitles next time, but let's see if the movie theaters will accommodate me with that. Oh, by the way, at the theater, there's this rule where you had to have your mask on at all times, even while you're in the theater.
Hmm.
But since there was only like 3 of us in the theater and we were all spaced out, we just took off our mask.
Yeah.
And it was not like the employees even came to the theater to check either, because there was a lot more people at the movies than there were employees. There was only like a handful of employees. And also, I gotta say this, right? This was like the biggest FU that I experienced at the theaters. So at AMC, or for most theaters for that matter now, there is a Coca-Cola freestyle machine, right? And with that, you can go to the machine, get any sort of Coca-Cola product that you want, and go on with your day and go on with your movie. But also, you can get as many free refills as you want. So what they did was they had a worker at the at the Coca-Cola machines, and it's all blocked off and stuff, and like she's taking drink orders, right? So you just give her your cup and you tell her what you want. And then there's this big ass sign that says no free refills at this time. So you only get one freaking serving of drink, and you better make sure you don't finish that drink because you won't get any refills. That was BS. I had an issue with that.
Yeah, okay, first world problems. Anyways.
It is first world problems, but dude,
I'll let you rant. Like I never finished a drink anyways. Yeah.
same.
So I don't care for that. For drink refills,
It's
whatever.
free refills, man. You gotta get in
You
your
too
free.
thirsty, bro. Come on. Just buy the large drink. If you come back with a 32 ounce and you drink a 64 ounce within 2 hours, there's a problem. Man, drink some water. Water
Well,
is
you can't
free.
even get the water. No, you can't even get a free refill of water.
You can. You just gotta ask. Like, let me get some water.
No, because of COVID or whatever, you already drank through your straw or whatever, so you got all your germs from the
They'll
cup.
just give you a cup, a brand new cup. That's it. It's
That ain't
water.
gonna happen. But anyways,
All right, let's get into Obi-Wan Kenobi. They are now
yes.
starting production. They're a bit late, maybe a couple months late,
Mhm.
because what I'm assuming is they had to change the script. It's going to be a couple episodes, I think 4 episodes, and it's going to be a short series.
Wait, only 4 episodes?
Yeah,
An hour each? An hour apiece?
I'm assuming. This
Okay.
is the last information I got. They probably would have updated it. I didn't see any new updates. I just know that they're going to start production of the
Mhm.
Obi-Wan film, and Erwin McGregor is back.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor is back.
as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Hayden
I'm
Christensen
excited.
is going to be in the movie as well as,
That's right.
I'm assuming, Darth Vader or maybe Anakin flashbacks.
I am assuming Anakin flashbacks, most definitely.
Maybe they'll do a couple of Clone Wars references in it, but I brought it to the show so to kind of discuss predictions to see what do you think they're going to do when it comes out later next year. I like to say early next year or maybe May next year.
Me personally, I was hoping for like an old Ben series where Kenobi, he's on Tatooine, he's looking after a young Luke Skywalker, he's just helping him out. You know, he's basically Luke's guardian angel from afar. So, you know, he knows everything about Luke. He sees the progression of Luke, right? But Luke knows, he just knows him as old Ben, right? But he knows nothing of the Jedi past because I think it'll be Obi-Wan and
10 years after episode 3.
yeah, so I believe it'll just be Obi-Wan and Yoda to be like the last of the Jedi, correct?
Theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be old Ben just being the guardian of Tatooine. Really, that's what I think is gonna happen. And you're gonna have all of these threats trying to go after a young Luke Skywalker.
No.
That's just me.
No threats going after young Luke Skywalker. He's non-existent. He's not known until he confronts Darth Vader. That's when he becomes known.
But what about the whole Darth Maul thing? Yeah.
So the Darth Maul thing has to do with he was able to get a holocron or whatever, a Sith one, and it told a prediction of like the fall because he was aware when things were going to fall, and he knew things were going to fall again, but he didn't know who. So after he learned that information, he wanted the one person he wanted to like kill. It's not Luke, was actually Obi-Wan. So when he went there, he fought Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's like, "Are you looking after the child?" It's like, "Yes." It's the one that's going to save both of us. It's like, yeah, because the city has ruined everybody's life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at it, because it only fits for that particular person because of the story arc from episode 1, and they just finished it off in Rebels. Of course, he's just a throwaway character in episode 1, but Dave Filoni and George Lucas gave him more of a defining character arc compared to Jar Jar Binks. So, so yeah, if you wanted to use that example, that's the only person you could allow that story to be told. But that story kind of happened maybe 16 years after episode 1, a little bit later, 2 years before episode 4. So it wouldn't work. Around this time, 10 years after episode 4, he is probably still part of the mafia.
Mm.
as we saw in Solo. So there's no need for them to go over that as well. So whatever this is, it could be either, in my opinion, I think Obi-Wan's going to leave the planet for a short period of time to
Mm-hmm.
look for another Jedi to try to kind of keep it going. And when he gets there, it's my prediction. When he gets
Okay.
there, it was just a trap. It was a beacon looking for other Jedi's, and it could be either a dark Jedi or maybe like Darth Vader just attacking him.
Mm.
But yeah, I do believe that he will fight Darth Vader in this film.
Okay. Huh. I think what can happen is, well, what it is going to happen is it's going to be the aftermath. We're going to see like an aftermath of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, right? And we're going to see Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're going to see that flashback of Episode 3, of that final battle. I think we're going to definitely see that, and we're going to see how that has screwed with Obi-Wan Kenobi's mind potentially. I think at the end of this series, right, where I would like for it to end is Obi-Wan making his way to Tatooine. I think that would be cool.
Oh yeah, not the Dark Jedi's. I meant to say Inquisitors. Dark Jedi's aren't real.
Mhm.
But yeah, Inquisitors. That's probably you probably like fight one of them or so, just so he has someone to fight.
Yeah,
They want him to see. They want to see him swinging a lightsaber. That's the whole concept.
true.
So, I don't know. I don't really see any purpose in making this movie besides just putting
I
it in a
agree.
comic book or a book. But I think people do want to see they do want to see Obi-Wan
Charles
Kenobi.
Soule, get on it. No, Charles Soule, get on another comic book. He already made the Lando comic book, and he made Poe Dameron. Go ahead and do Obi-Wan.
Oh well, Lando is getting his own TV show as well.
Charles Gambino again.
Yeah, we discussed this. Maybe we forgot. We
I
definitely
forgot.
we definitely
Definitely
forgot.
forgot.
Maybe Disney forgot too, because I haven't seen them discuss anything new for Star Wars for a while. But
Mm.
Lando is supposed to get a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Gambino's been busy too. He's been busy with that weak ass rollout that he came out with last year. That horrible album that came out a year ago.
It wasn't
Three
horrible. It was great.
15.2020.
March
That one.
15th. Oh, that's funny. It was 1 year
Yeah, it was a year
anniversary.
ago.
Yeah, it's a great album, bro. I don't care if you don't like it. It was a great album. It wasn't more of an album rollout. It's more like here's a project that I've been working on, and I'm not going to perform it this year because of COVID. So yeah, I'm gonna have.
Yeah, here's a blank canvas. Here are the songs. You put this. You name it whatever you want. That was lazy. That was pure laziness.
Not really. It's a artistic expression. You can do whatever you want.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You just hating. All right, now let's discuss Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We wanted to discuss it last week, but we kind of ran out of time
We are almost running out of time anyway. So briefly, we're gonna talk Winter
about the
Soldier.
first 2 episodes.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
first 2 episodes. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Marvel done did it again, man. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, fire. Like I'm saying, like I said with WandaVision, this is the aftermath of Endgame, right? And there is no Captain America. And if you've watched Endgame, you know that Steve Rogers, aka Joe Biden, the 46th president of the United States, passed the mantle of Captain America to Sam Wilson, aka Papa Doc, aka Clarence, aka Anthony Mackie, right? And at the end of Endgame, Steve said, how does that feel? What's it feel like? And Sam was like, it feels like this doesn't belong to me. So because of that, Sam freaking gave up the shield to the government, was it the Smithsonian, or was it
Yeah. Like it's like a museum for
for Captain
Captain
America?
America and his patriots that helped won the war.
Yeah, exactly. And then freaking they came out essentially with a new symbol of hope. A new Captain America is now here, has now emerged, and Sam is irked. Bucky is irked because Sam didn't take the mantle as Captain America. Um, Captain America. I'm sorry, Captain America, because I'm still thinking of Sam Wilson as the Captain America, which is gonna happen by the end of this series. He's definitely taken up that mantle. But Sam Wilson's broke. that sucked, okay, because that storyline within itself of, yo, how do these superheroes actually get paid? I think that was pretty clever because I figured, after you sacrifice your life to save the world multiple times, I figured you'd be loaded for the rest of your life, sort of like Tony Stark status, right? But hell no, Sam Wilson is broke AF, bruh, and he couldn't get loans. Although he was like the Falcon, he's an Avenger. He tried to go to the damn bank to get a loan out for his fam. The freaking the bank teller is a huge fan, but he couldn't issue no loans, nothing.
Yeah, he
Is it
had
because he's black? Is it because he's black too?
to be very like kind of like focus on the story, and I thought it was very interesting being a black superhero and you're not rich. Like this is military.
Yeah,
He's military.
he is military.
So he was only given to what he's only given the amount that the government could contract him. So yeah, he's a superhero for hire, but it's not like they only pay him $1 million for doing a superhero job, right? It's like yeah, that's why in episode 2, when they're able to track him and Bucky, it's like, how did you track me? It's like, oh, how did you find us? Like, we tracked you. You're literally wearing military armor.
Yeah,
It's not yours. You know,
his suit
you didn't invent it
is
yourself. You're the only one
right.
using it, but you didn't invent it.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks. It kind of just sucks all around. So this
Like
is,
we own you,
yeah, we own you. It's like,
actually.
and he does discuss like you can't just go out and do your own thing because that's what he did with Steve, and they were just outlaws for like those
Right,
2 years, and he doesn't
right.
want to live like that anymore. You know, he's back home. He got pardoned. Everybody got
Yeah,
pardoned.
that was the aftermath of Civil War.
Yeah, because they did
Mm-hmm.
everything. They did
Mm-hmm.
everything. So this story pretty much revolves around being a black superhero, in my opinion, plus Bucky,
Plus Bucky.
you
Yeah.
know, and White Wolf,
Mm.
and
Winter Soldier.
for him to get like all this struggle within the first 2 episodes, even though like the fight, right? They had a fight in the streets and the cops came because they had an arrest warrant on Bucky, but
Mm-hmm.
they're ready to kind of fight Sam too, to the
Of
point where
course.
Bucky is like, "Do you know who this is?" And he kind of points at him. It's like, "Oh, Mr. Wilson." Like
Still Jigga.
yeah, yeah. It's like you're
Mm-hmm.
still, and it hurt. That scene hurt me more than I don't know how he acted. It just hurt me so much that I had
Yeah.
to watch that scene. Like a black superhero is just known because he's been out since like you said like Captain America 2.
Yeah,
So
since the
maybe
Winter
like 10
Soldier, he's been
years.
out.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a known Avenger for like 10
Mm-hmm.
years. So people know
Exactly.
him.
And in this timeline, it's like what, 2023 anyway. So it's been more than 10 years. It has to have been like 15
It-
years tops.
yeah, because Tony Stark started in 2008
Yep.
in that world.
And then the blip happened, and 5 years later has passed. So it's like 2023, 24 max.
Exactly. So that sucks. And
Hell
he
yeah.
couldn't get like a payment plan from Tony, but I guess he didn't think about that
Bruh.
while he was
Yeah,
alive.
man.
I guess he wasn't struggling when he was alive
I don't
before
think
the
so.
blip. Before the
Right.
blip. After the blip, that's when everything kind of was out of
Yeah.
hand. The financing. It's like you didn't
Yeah.
exist for 5 years. Like, dude, it's like
And that's what I really enjoyed about the MCU in this timeline, is because we're dealing with the after effects of the blip, right? Because for 5 years, half of the population didn't exist, right? And so now that people just magically reappeared again, you have to think about increased homelessness. You have to think about now the actual politics of everything, right? And now this super villain group led by freaking, what's his face again? Bad guy in Civil War, Zeno or something like that, right?
Zemo.
Zemo, there you go. He is leading this army, which is
No,
basically,
he's not leading.
well, he's the main villain, no?
No, he's not. They're going to talk to. No, they didn't even present him yet. They're probably going to talk to him because he knew about the super soldier stuff. But
Okay,
he's not. He's
fair.
not the villain. It's like the red mask or something.
Well, the masked villains are basically this faction that is trying to go back to the time of the blip, essentially.
Yeah, which is weird. I'm hoping there's more explanation to that.
Mhm.
maybe that fraction, that's like the idea, but there's like a bigger issue behind it, and this is the supporters. But what
Mhm.
I'm more interested in is like how they were able to have like those super shoulder powers,
Yeah.
because there's more, and
Mhm.
they showed a black character who actually did fight Bucky more than 60 years ago. But
Mhm.
when he came back, he went to jail and he was experimented on. So he had a completely different take compared to like him and Captain America. So I'm very interested to see where this is going, because this is more race centered than I thought, especially for a
Yeah.
Disney. It's not like um Watchmen, right?
Mhm.
Watchmen was very like
It's in your
very
face.
in your face when you're talking
This
about
one's
race
a bit more
relation.
subtle.
Yeah, this one, nah, it's still in your face. I thought the cops like trying to arrest or trying to get ready to fight Wilson was very, very like in your face. Like
Mm.
even as a superhero, if they don't know you, they don't know you. So
Damn, bruh.
I don't know. I thought so far it's only been
2
2 episodes
episodes.
out, and it was just painful watching those 2 episodes. Like, wow, you're struggling. You're
And this
really
is
struggling
and this is the route you're really going on right now.
because I
And
could.
I'm sorry, continue.
No, yeah, this is the route that he's going on. What happened?
Yeah, but also the fact that they chose a new Captain America and it's a white bread baby face Captain America too. They didn't even think about saying, "Hey, you know what, Sam? Steve wanted you to have the shield, so why don't you do the honors of being the next Captain America?" They went back to the white bread baby face dude, and he has another black sidekick.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That was hella interesting.
I thought it was interesting because the first episode you hate him, right?
I
And
still
this
hate him.
in the second episode they gave him like he's nervous and this is not what you wanted, but he's the
Right.
best for the role, and his best friend is like, yo, you got this, bro. So now you kind of have a little bit more character. The man in the suit is
There's a
not
bit more sympathy towards him, but
a
the
lot more
fact that
sympathy.
he's people are calling him Cap and Captain America. No, no, you don't have those honors, sir.
There's only
No,
one
it
Cap.
there's only one Cap. But hey, if Cap wanted to give the mantle off to Sam or hell even Bucky, all right, then I would call them Cap. Okay, I'm not calling you Cap. You're just Cap. You're not the real Cap. You're the Cap.
Cap.
You're fake
Gotcha.
Cap. You're Cap.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to take this series. It is very interesting. They had a good fight scene in the second episode. It's
Definitely.
like, all right, so they're still able to give you that high quality Marvel action,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, all right, we're on week to week. Let's see. I know I was thinking Wanda was pretty broke too. After she
Yeah,
left, so she didn't have any money either.
that is true. But
So
to be fair, she can just craft up her own house.
but that's exactly
And that's what she did,
that's what she
essentially.
did. No,
Mhm.
well, she has a house and like
Right.
to grow old in.
Yeah. To me, I'm gonna end this episode on this. I think at the end of this series, Sam Wilson will take the mantle as your new Captain America, and that's gonna go into the new movies as well, where we see Sam Wilson as Captain America.
Next to
I'm
Spider
saying
Man.
it exactly. I'm saying this. It's like the comic books, damn it. Don't you screw me on this, Marvel. He better take up the mantle as Captain America. I don't want him just to stay as Falcon. All right. Falcon's cool, but like give my man the shield too.
What
All
happens
right.
if Captain America comes back as Captain America?
That is BS if he comes back. I'd be pissed off if he comes back, honestly. Honestly, because that ending to Endgame was a great ending. Like that was it. That's the nice ending towards one of the best superheroes, one of the best revivals of a superhero to one that we thought was kind of corny for a while, that no one really cared about Captain America like that. No one gave a damn about Captain America because when it came to Marvel, you only cared about a couple of them. You only cared about Spider-Man, Hulk, and all the X-Men. That's it. No one really gave a crap about Captain America until the MCU came into play.
Facts.
And with that, we want to thank you all so much for tuning into Black Seinfeld. Once again, please subscribe to us on YouTube and like and follow us on all social media platforms and podcasting platforms. And before we like to go, I would just like to say this: stay hydrated, Take 10 minutes out your day to stretch. If you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, don't drink. You know what I'm saying? FDT, Free Palestine, suck Yamada. We out.
Peace.
Peace. Real quick, what's the song we're going out to?
Great question. So the last song I want to end the show with is Steve Monet, Only You. Boogie out.
Peace.